1. June. This is the second time I see you, and you are no longer a little boy. You're much taller, and your hair you've let grow. We meet in the city with your dad at a sidewalk. You walk away from my view, maybe to pick up our drinks. Your dad speaks to me this time. He's no longer the brooding man on the couch. Your dad's much older since I last saw you. His eyes are droopy, but they rise when he speaks of you. His freckles show more. They're on his nose bridge, on the high part of his cheeks. His dreads are thicker, but the color is lighter, like brown smoky dusk. His glasses are the same thin gray metal frames from always. He tells me how well you're doing, how well you're both doing, how everything is well. I mention your grandmother. I heard about your mom. I reach out and place my hand over his. I'm really sorry. Your dad's bottom lip quivers, and he gives me a nod. You come back to the table and sit there. I can't help but stare at you. You are so beautiful. Your eyebrows are full of short, thin hair. You have my eyes. You have your father's freckles. You are quiet, and in this quietness, I know you are funny and intelligent. I still remember you as the lively little boy giving me a tour of your home. I fell in love with you instantly. When we all stand to leave, I hug you tight and you hold me. Your thin frame resembles your father's, but you have more thickness on your bones. My head rests on your chest, your warm chest, and I say to you, you were born out of so much love. Your hold stays the same, and I look up at you and you smile. You leave to go into a department store across the cafe. It's the start of your shift. You walk past the sporadic crowd of people. I look at your dad and ask for your number, for your picture, and he shares with me a picture of you both. You were younger, barely reaching your father's shoulders, and you're both smiling. I log into my phone with my right hand to type down your name, but I forget how to spell it. I spell Roy, but I know it should end with an E sound. I ask your father to make sure, and I feel horrible. At that moment, I felt the distance we've lived. I ask your father if I can message you, maybe after work, but I can tell by your father's side nod that it's not a great idea. So I save your contact information in my notes, place your picture in my purse, and hug your dad. I tell him how amazing you are. Seeing you both in the picture reminds me of your father and your grandmother, alone but together, alone but filled with love. 2. Dream of Rai. It was the first time I remember seeing him. I didn't remember having a son before my son, but I did. His name is Rai, but his family pronounces it Ray. He lives with his grandmother, young uncle, and his father. They all live in his grandmother's one-bedroom condominium. I've been to this place before. I had come here with my son. Ray's father had called me up from his balcony when he saw my son and I walking in front of this building. When we walked in, the whole house was dark. The only places we were able to see were the living room and the bathroom. Now, accompanied by no one, I see the dining room is used as a bedroom. I see a china cabinet without its doors and without its sides, used as an open dresser. I see some folded shirts, pants, some scattered clothes. I noticed a neon yellow-green Ninja Turtle shirt. My son has one just like it. Ray is 6 or 7 going on to 8. His grandmother leaves to the store with his uncle. I stay in the house with Ray and his father, but his father is in the living room and he stays there throughout my visit. I felt a strong aura brewing behind the living room door. Ray's father is very protective. Maybe the reason why I don't remember Ray. Maybe as soon as I had Ray, he took him away from me. I try to remember, and all the thinking I do brings up images that may be true or false. Ray is happy to meet me. He is tall like his father. His head reaches the middle of my chest. His skin is a sweet caramel brown. His dark hair resembles a thin layer of a soft summer cloud. His eyes are a deep dark brown that glisten with happiness when he grabs hold of my hand to show me around his grandmother's house. I don't notice that there is no noise, no sound of his voice or anyone's voice. I just feel and see. Ray doesn't question my absence. He enjoys showing me his dining bedroom with a queen-size bed, the little long rectangular kitchen with its white cabinets and one large window. He points out the living room where his father stays. He points out his grandmother's bedroom. Then his grandmother and uncle come back from the store. I let Ray let go of my hand so he could get ready. I stare at my surroundings in silence. All I can feel is Ray's happiness. I think about Ray's father sitting in silence in his living bedroom. I begin to remember our old high school grounds, a field of green surrounded by old town homes around the edges. All the students walking out, possibly for the end of the day. I remember standing by the side entrance of the school building. I was looking for him, and I saw him, Ray's father, running with something wrapped up in a sheet in his arms. He was too far from me to go after him. Actually, I didn't feel like going after him. I just wanted to see him for one last time. Dream of Ray.